Have you ever bought something just because everyone else was buying it, only to sit at home later thinking, wait, do I actually need this? Or have you ever watched your entire company give a standing ovation for an idea, while secretly wondering, is this really gonna work? Welcome to the world of group psychology, where people don't just follow the crowd, but sometimes make the most unexpected decisions simply because everyone else is doing it. In today's video, we're diving deep into this fascinating phenomenon. Why is group psychology so powerful that it can make us change our minds in an instant? And how can we stay firm in our own decisions without getting swept away by the crowd? Let's find out. Have you ever found yourself in this situation? Everyone in your group loves a particular restaurant, even though you know the food isn't great, but you nod along anyway because, well, everyone else already decided. Or worse, have you ever witnessed an opinion that was clearly wrong but stayed silent, just to avoid standing out? That, my friend, is group psychology in action. Group psychology is the phenomenon where our thoughts, decisions, and actions are influenced by those around us. It can appear anywhere, from close friend groups and coworkers to larger communities like society, culture, or even politics. And there are three major forces driving this influence. Group conformity. It's like when everyone insists that the Earth is flat, and even though you know it's round, you still shrug and say, well, maybe they have a point. Groupthink. When a group is too aligned in their thinking, they tend to ignore opposing views and make bad decisions. Like when an entire company enthusiastically launches a terrible product, and no one dares to speak up and warn them. Social influence. When an authority figure or the group sets a standard, individuals feel pressured to go along. It's like when the boss says, this plan is solid, even though everyone knows it's a disaster waiting to happen, but no one speaks up. So, how can you avoid blindly following the crowd? Let's find out. Group psychology can strongly influence individual decisions in various ways. And chances are, you've been a victim of it too. Group conformity. Everyone's doing it, so it must be right. Have you ever agreed with the group just to avoid standing out? People have a natural instinct to fit in, and sometimes that pressure leads us to change our opinions just to go along with the majority. Herd mentality. If they're doing it, I should too. Remember the great toilet paper rush during the COVID-19 pandemic? Nobody really knew why they needed so much, but the moment people saw others hoarding it, they jumped in like the world was ending. This is a classic case of herd mentality, when people blindly follow the crowd without thinking it through. Groupthink. Everyone agrees, so why question it? Sometimes too much agreement within a group can be a dangerous trap. When everyone thinks alike, they may overlook critical warning signs and make disastrous decisions. A prime example is the Challenger space shuttle disaster, 1986. Engineers had raised concerns about potential risks, but their warnings were ignored because the group was determined to launch on schedule. The result? One of NASA's worst tragedies. So, if you're in a group where everyone is instantly on board with an idea, take a step back and ask yourself, are we missing something important? Collective perception. Are you sure that really happened? Did you know your memory can be altered just because of what others say? A study by Elizabeth Loftus, 1974, found that when people discuss an event in a group, they can unintentionally reshape each other's memories. In other words, if enough people believe something happened, you might start remembering it as true, even if it never actually occurred. Group cohesion and the illusion of safety. Someone else will handle it. Have you ever seen someone in trouble on the street, but no one stepped in to help? Maybe you thought, surely someone else will do something. This is called the bystander effect. The more people around, the less responsible we feel. And the result? No one takes action. So next time you see someone who needs help, don't wait to see if others step in. Be the one to take action first. So how do we break free from group psychology? Stay tuned to find out. Group psychology not only affects how we think, but also strongly influences many aspects of life. 1. politics, and society. We're right and you're wrong. Have you noticed that political debates are becoming more intense and harder to find common ground? This is a phenomenon called group polarization. When people in a group share the same opinion, they tend to become even more extreme in that direction. 2. Business and finance. If everyone's buying, I have to buy too. The financial market is one of the areas most influenced by group psychology. The herd mentality in financial investing causes investors to buy or sell stocks simply because they see others doing it. For example, when the stock market surges, everyone rushes to buy stocks out of fear of missing out. FOMO. Conversely, when the market plunges, many panic sell just because they see others selling. The result? An unnecessary economic downturn. 3. Everyday life. If they have it, I need it too. Have you ever bought something just because everyone else was buying it? If so, you're not alone. Consumer decisions. Many people choose a product not because it's the best, but simply because it's trending. Fashion trends. Every trend starts with a small group before spreading and becoming mainstream. But looking back, you might wonder, why did I even buy that shirt last year? So, how can you avoid being led by group psychology? Let's dive into that in the next section. How to avoid being led by group psychology. Group psychology can help us feel more connected, but it can also lead us to make terrible decisions. So how do we avoid blindly following the crowd? Here are some key strategies to help you stay grounded and make smarter choices. Develop critical thinking. Wait, is this really true? Before believing something or following the group, take a moment to ask yourself, why do I believe this? Is there solid evidence, or is it just a rumor? If your only answer is, because everyone says so, then don't be so quick to believe it. Instead, try gathering information from multiple sources, especially those outside your usual group. Sometimes the truth lies where you least expect it. Recognizing peer pressure. They think that, but I have the right to think differently. Have you ever agreed with the majority just because you didn't want to feel isolated? This is peer pressure, one of the strongest forces in group psychology. If you have solid evidence, don't be afraid to stand by your perspective, even if it goes against the crowd. Diversify your group and perspectives. The more viewpoints, the fewer mistakes. A group made up of like-minded individuals is highly susceptible to groupthink, leading to biased or flawed decisions. So how do you prevent this? Surround yourself with diverse perspectives. At work, if you're a leader or team manager, don't just choose people who blindly agree with everything you say. Instead, seek out individuals who challenge ideas and offer different viewpoints. In life, make friends with people from varied backgrounds and beliefs. This will broaden your thinking and help you avoid getting trapped in a perception bubble. Don't let emotions drive your decisions. Slow down, don't rush. Making decisions based on impulse or emotions often leads to regret. When caught up in a group, you might feel excited, anxious, or pressured, causing you to act in ways you normally wouldn't. If it's an important decision, give yourself time to think, rather than reacting immediately. Don't let group emotions dictate your choices. Look at the data and facts before making a decision. What about you? Have you ever been swept up by the crowd? Or have you ever stood alone to defend your own opinion? Share your story in the comments. Your experience might help someone else stay more clear-headed when facing group pressure. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss out on more exciting content.